Hey everybody, welcome to 1977 Chicago White Sox baseball replay. We've now made it to game 74. This is game 2 of the Minnesota Twins series. Let's look at where we are on the schedule. I decided to play game 2 instead of game 1 because game 2 is going to offer a new pitcher for the Sox that has not appeared all year. So I figured I'd play that one instead. Tomorrow's game against Minnesota is going to be a doubleheader, so I'll play that offline. And then they make a quick road trip to Seattle and to Detroit before another homestand and then the All-Star break. So right now, let's look at the standings as of this game. Texas has got the half-game lead on Kansas City. The Sox are 3.5 back, the Twins 5.5 back, and then Oakland, California, and Seattle bring up the rear. So you're basically looking at a 4-team race. Minnesota was on top a while ago, but they've been on hard times lately, so they've dropped a bit. Texas, Kansas City, and Chicago kind of keeping it close right there. All right, now let's look at what happened since the last time we have done a video. And that was the first game of the Seattle series, where the White Sox took care of the Mariners by the final score of 11-7. That was game number 70. Games 71 and 72 were played on the computer offline, and it wasn't any better for Seattle as the Sox offense came alive again. 12-7 the victory for the Sox. Not a whole lot going on pitching-wise. Neither pitcher was really all that effective, although Barrios did go 6 2/3, giving up only 2 runs, but Anderson and Kirkwood kind of gave up Seattle's, let's get the box score in there, line score in there. Anderson and Kirkwood gave up 5 runs in the 8th and 9th innings to make it a little closer than it really was. I mean, realistically, it was 9-1 after 5, 9-2 after 6, and 11-2 after 7. So, kind of was not in doubt there as they got to John Montague early and often. Game 72, the final game of the Seattle series. Again, they pounded the Mariners 11-5 early and often. They went up to 11-1 after 4 innings. Really took it to Tom House, who was a spot starter, and then Diego Segui. And there were also some errors made, one error in particular made by Seattle that caused a lot of unearned runs. Wilbur Wood got the start, went 6 innings, and then Johnson got a 3-inning save. Even though it was 11-5, the 3 innings means he gets the save. And the Sox, with that victory, improved to 40-31 as they sweep Seattle. Game 1 of the Twins series just played. Was not a good one for the Sox. They left their bats at home apparently against Dave Goltz. Dave Goltz shut them out on a 2-hitter, and they pounded Chris Knapp and company for 8 runs, 17 hits. So the Twins got their hitting shoes on. Sox 2-hitter, never really in the game to begin with. So they're looking for bigger and better things here in game number 74. And we'll go through the starting lineups very quickly for game 74. First for the Twins, it'll be Bostock in center, Smalley at short, Carew at first, Weiniger catching, Heisel in left, Adams the DH, Ford and right, Cubbage at third, and Wilfong at second, with Bill Butler, the left-hander, on the mound for the Twins. For the Sox, it'll be Bannister at short, Orta, Zisk, Johnson, Lemon, Spencer, Soderholm, Gar, and Essien. So it's good to get Spencer back and Zisk back to full health. Gamble is on the bench because of the lefty starter, but he's certainly available to pinch hit. This game was played July 2nd, 1977. And again, the Twins enter 40-35. Sox enter 41-32. And also, before we start, thought it would be fun to open up the second clearance pack that I had of 2018 Topps Series 1. So I think it's best to open from the bottom, so that's what we'll do. See if we get anybody decent. We got a Alex Bregman Future Star card last time, so let's see if we get anything this time of note. Got Christian Yelich, Anthony Rizzo, Clayton Kershaw, Jose Quintana, Felipe Rivero, Mike Fiers, and he's got the controversy by outing the Astros on their illegal sign stealing. He was one of the main people that spoke up about that. J.A. Happ, Daniel Norris, Denny Hechavarria. Go around again. Daniel Murphy, Miguel Andujar rookie card. That's a nice one to have. I'll put that to the side and sleeve that. Brian Anderson rookie. Brandon Woodruff rookie. Clint Frazier rookie. Yoan Moncada future star. That's a nice one to have. Ken Giles. And we get to the horizontal cards. So we got JD Martinez. Bryce Harper, Legends in the Making. Chris Bryant. A whole bunch of Chris Bryant stuff in this particular set. Dozier at second. Trevor Story at short. Yasmani Grandal. And then we flip around this way. Tyler Mahle. Future star Ian Happ with the gold cup. I always like the gold cups. Even if they're not worth a whole lot, I still like them. Detroit Tigers. Clayton Kershaw, league leader. Jed Jerko. Back to the vertical. Edison Volquez. Nick Ahmed. Byron Buxton. Lonnie Chisenhall. Jeff Samardzija. Pat Valaika. Lance Lynn. And Jordan Zimmerman. So obviously the two there that are noteworthy are the Yoan Moncada future star and the Miguel Andujar rookie. So those are the two I'll set to the side for sure to make sure those get sleeved, as those are the two that are like highlights of that pack opening. So now it's out of the way, we can go ahead and get down to some baseball. And we'll make sure I get the camera all set up so you can see the cards. That's always important, at least to me it is, for you to be able to see the cards. And the starting pitcher, Jack Cusick. He's going to get his first start of the year for the Sox, first appearance. He did have 3 starts. He also did some relieving, but he had 3 starts, 0-1, a 3.63 ERA. This is his first start of the season. And he's going to be facing the Twins leadoff man, Lyman Bostock. So let's make sure everything is in play here. Oh, gotta make sure I do this too to make it easier to go into the tray. Alrighty. Don't really need that. Let's see here. So I think this is going to work, hopefully. Might not be able to see all the score sheet, but I do want to be able to show all the cards and the dice. So I think that's going to work out pretty well. If I can back it up just a hair, I think that will get it all set. All right, again, this is advanced rules. Super advanced fielding. That's the only thing that's going to be super advanced is the fielding, all the stealing and whatnot. And there are no ballpark or clutch effects, of course, as well. All right, so Lyman Bostock starts us off against Jack Cusick. Game number 74 underway at Comiskey. 111 for Bostock. Fly ball to right. If we were doing super advanced, you'd have that split chance, but we're doing advanced, so it's just simply going to be a fly to right. And Bostock is retired. Brings up Roy Smalley, shortstop for the Twins. 5-10 against Cusick, a switch hitter batting left. 5-10's a ground ball shortstop X. Not always the best because that's Alan Bannister. And Bannister is a 4, E48. So trouble on both sides, range and error check. 4-16 though, he'll get to that. 48, and that is a 15. Is there a 15 on a E48? E48, there's a 15 right there. Right there. So it's a 1 base error on Bannister. And again, the woeful fielding of the White Sox starting to rear its ugly head again. E6. Should be 2 outs and nobody on, but now you got a man on with Rod Carew coming up. And let's see about Smalley. He's a D stealer, so he will not even be held. And here is Carew. 5-5. That is a strikeout. How about that? Cusick strikeout with a dot, but of course he's not tired yet, so a rare strikeout for Mr. Carew. 2 down, still got the runner at first in Smalley. He's a Weiniger. 6-7, he's a switch hitter batting left. 6-7, 1-12 is a single, and 13-20 he grounds out to the second baseman, Orta. So 13-20 he's out. It's a 18, so Orta gets to it, and that's going to end the inning. So Cusick pitches around the air. Nothing doing for the Twinks here in the top of the first. Go to the bottom of the first, and Bill Butler on for the Twins. Butler, on the season, or on his season. 0-1 with a 6.86 ERA and 4 starts. So obviously not very good. I'm surprised he's even carded, only 21 innings. But when I got the 77 set, I guess it came with the extra players. So he's there. Good thing. Don't have to use the app or anything like that. So we're going to get it started with Alan Bannister, who made that error to start the bad fielding for the Sox in the first. See if we can make up for it with the bat. And we get a 4-4. Butler against a right-hander, 4-4. It's a catcher X. Catcher Smalley. Roy Smalley. Look at his defensive prowess. Not Roy Smalley, Butch Weiniger, my bad. Butch Weiniger is a 3-E2. 3 and an 18 is definitely a good play, and an E2 and an 11. E2, oops, I'm wrong way. I need to get the catcher, don't I? E2. There's no 11. 17, 18, and 3. That's it. So E2, and then of course the 18, he's going to make that play easily. In fact, an 18 with the catcher is a G2, so it's a little number in front of the plate for a 2-3 ground out. 1 away. Bannister is retired, and that's going to bring up George Orta. Second baseman, lefty on lefty matchup, 5-7, and that's a walk. So Butler puts Orta on. Orta, though, is a D-stealer. He's not a threat to go, and he's not going to be held. Richie Zisk steps to the plate. 4-7, and that's another walk. So back-to-back walks by Butler. And the Sox may have something going here in the first. 1 out, 2 on for Lamar Johnson, the cleanup DH. 6-9, and that's an in-home run chance off of Butler. 6-9 is an in-home run chance. Lamar Johnson, with his power, is normal power against lefties and righties, as he hit 18 home runs. So that is a 3-run bomb for Lamar Johnson, as the Sox are looking to pay the Twins back from yesterday. And those 2 walks preceding that really come back to bite Mr. Butler. So it is 3-0 favor of the Sox. Base is clear, 1 out for Chet Lemon. 1-7 against a lefty. 1-13 is a double. 14-20, he will fly to center. So Bostok's trying to get it, and he does not. It falls in for a double in the gap. So Lemon doubles. That brings up Jim Spencer. Of course, good to see him back. Lefty on lefty, but lefties don't really bother him all that much. 1-5. As you can see here on his card against lefties, he has a lot of home runs. 1-5 is a 1-16 home run chance. So 1-16, and we got a 2-run bomb for Spencer. And it's gone. Spencer is just unloaded. And this is not what the Twins wanted, because they got a doubleheader coming up, so they don't want to burn their bullpen here in this game. But they're down 5-0. And Butler trying to at least get him through the inning if he can. 6-10, fly to center. That's going to help out a little bit. That's 2 outs. And now that brings up Ralph Garr. 5-7 against a lefty. That's another walk. So 9th man to come to bat in the lineup is Jim Essien. 2-10 for Essien, and that's another big hit. 1-14 is a double. 15-20 is a single. 2 stars, so the run will not score, but it is going to be a single, 2 runs or 2-base single, as Garr makes it to third base. Now they batted around as the top of the order is back up with Bannister. Butler is now tired, but he's trying to get through the inning, get that last out. 6-6 is another walk. That's not going to help. That loads the bases. And Gene Mauch might have to go to that bullpen, even though he doesn't want to this early. Bases are loaded for George Orta. Lefty on lefty matchup. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. That's going to be Wilfong. And Wilfong defensively for the Twins comes in with a 3-E37. 3-12 should be a good play. Double check that. 3-37. 3-12. as a second baseman. 3 and a 12. 3 and a 12. He will get to it. E37 and a 10. I think 10's okay. Yep, no error there. So finally gets out of the inning. Sox send 11 to the plate. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them score. So actually, could have been worse. But it is a 5-0 game in favor of the Sox. And Butler's going to have to play the rest of the game as tired. And just try to keep his team in the game if possible. Because, again, they have a doubleheader tomorrow. And they really don't want to use the bullpen this early. All right, here's Heisel leading off here against Cusick. So Cusick's been blessed with a 5-run lead in his debut. 5-5. Struck him out. So maybe some encouragement with that run support. Strikes out Heisel. And here's Glenn Adams. 6-7. 6-7. A 1 to 12 is a single. 13 to 20, and Orta will get it. It's a 13, so Orta gets it. So the dice roll, the D20 rolls especially, and the once evil green D20 has seemed to, fate has twisted it back towards the Sox. 6-2, fly ball to left, handled out there by the left fielder, Gar, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. So Cusick only has a 5 fatigue rating, so of course any extra innings they can get out of him, because of course they also have that doubleheader tomorrow against the Twins, so anything you can do to try to save that pen will definitely help out. Here's Richie Zisk, getting off the bottom of the second. 2-5 against a left-hander. 2-5, 1 to 8's a triple, 9 to 20 is a double, and it's just getting worse for Butler. And he's going to probably have to come out here very shortly. Johnson loosening in the bullpen, Dave Johnson. 12 is going to be a double. Leadoff double to start the second inning for Richie Zisk. Brings up Lamar Johnson, who had that big 3-run shot first time up. 3-12, and that's a single to right field with nobody out, and Ziska doesn't run all that well. They're going to hold him up. That'll load the base, or put runners at the corners rather, and that's going to be it. They just can't go anymore with Butler. It's just no way. So they got to find somebody that can give them a length in their relief corps, and Dave Johnson is that guy. He's also a starting pitcher, and you see he's got a 3 for his relief rating. So he's going to see if he can't provide some innings. We do have 2 Johnsons. There's a Dave Johnson and a Tom Johnson. Tom Johnson's their closer. So this is Dave Johnson, and Butler's going to go 1 inning plus. And he's responsible for the 2 guys on base, so his day did not go well at all. Here's Chet Lemon. 3-9 for Lemon, and that's a fly to left. 1 away. And that'll send us to Jim Spencer. Spencer, that big 2-run shot his first time. 3-11. This time it's a ground ball first base C. So the runner will advance. And the run will score. They were playing for a double play. It didn't work out. They don't get the force. They can only get the out at first. So the run will score. RBI ground out makes it 6-0. That run is charged to Butler. So we still can't close the book on Butler because Johnson's at second base. And if he scores, that's another run against Butler. So 2 down. And that brings up Soderholm. 2-out runner at second. 6-0 favor of the Sox. Almost a reversal of yesterday's game, 1-8. Fly to center, that's going to end the inning. Now we can close the book on Butler. He goes 1 1/3, faces 13 batters. Gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 6 runs, all earned. 2 home runs. And walks and strikeouts. He didn't strike anybody out. And he walked 1, 2, 3, 4. So you talk about a bad outing. Talk about a bad outing for Mr. Butler. 13 batters faced, 6 hits, 6 runs, 2 homers, 4 walks, no strikeouts, and a 6-0 lead after 2 innings. So Butler, definitely not what the doctor ordered for the Twins. But Dave Johnson's going to have to bear the load now and see if he can't go some innings for him. Here's Cusick now giving a 6-0 lead to work with. And here's Cubbage. 6-11. 6-11's a solid single. So Cubbage gets the first hit of the game for the Twins. Comes here to lead off the bottom of the third. Here's a Wilfong. 6-7. And that's a 1-12 single. 13-20. Again, Orta will have a chance. And if he gets it, it's a ground ball A. It'd be a double play. To 15, it's a double play. 4-6-3. So Orta showing some range. Got a little extra pep in his step, and that's a 4-6-3 double play. That certainly helps out Mr. Cusick. 6-8 against Bostock. That's a solid single. So Bostock, 2-out single. He's a B stealer, but he's not going anywhere down 6-0. He will be held though. And here is Roy Smalley, shortstop. 2-6 against a right-hander. 1-4 is a double. 5-20, it's a fly ball out to Gar. It's a 2, so it's a double. Now the question is, can the runner score? He was being held. His run rating is a 15. He's being held to 14, but there are 2 outs, gives him a 16. And then Gar's arm, which is a +1, makes it a 17. So 1-17, they're going to go ahead and send him. And he makes it. So that breaks up the shutout. RBI double. All this with 2 outs. An RBI double for Smalley. Cuts the lead to 6-1. And here's Carew with Smalley at second base and 2 outs. 3-8. 3-8. All these singles in column 3 for Carew, and 3-8 is a fly to left field. So that's going to end the inning. Cusick escapes, giving up just the 1 run. We go to the bottom of the third. 6-1 Sox. And Dave Johnson back out to bear the burden of these innings. Here's Ralph Gar. 6-10 against a lefty Gar is a ground ball to first, handled by Carew. 1 away. And that will bring up Jim Essian, the catcher, number 9 hitter. 2-4. 2-4 is a ground ball to the pitcher. Would have been a ballpark single check, but we're not doing that, of course. So there's 2 down for Bannister, top of the order. 2-4 again, and that's a ground ball to third, handled by Cubbage. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, so maybe Mr. Johnson is giving the Twins some stability. Try to save that bullpen. Here's Cusick facing Butch Weiniger to start the 4th. 6-1 Sox. 4-12 against a left-hander. That's a fly ball to right. It would have been a home run check, but we're not doing the ballpark, so it's a fly to right. Oops, put a wrong score sheet there. Fly to right. Weiniger is gone. Brings up Heisel. Larry Heisel. 5-7 against a right-hander. Ground ball, second base X. That's Orta. Could be trouble. Orta, 4E23. And that's an 11. That's a bad news. 11 is terrible. That's I memorized that as being an error for him. Because on that E23, 11 is the only one in the error range, and there we got it right there. So 1 base error on Orta. It's pretty bad when you can remember that. I just remember Z23, 11 is the one thing he couldn't roll, and that's what he rolled. So it happens. Error on Orta. Second error of the game for the Sox. 5-8. Cusick struck him out, so he strikes out Glenn Adams, trying to pick up his teammate. 2 down now, and that brings up Disco Dan Ford. 6-9, 6-9. Trouble though. 1-7 is a double, 8-20 is a single. They're both 2 stars, so the run will not score regardless. It is a single. So Disco Dan with a single moves Heisel to third. Runners at the corners, 2 down for Mike Cubbage. So Cusick needs to get out of this runners in scoring position situation. Cusick got a single. Cubbage got a single his first time up. 3-5. He's going to get a single again. That would have been a clutch, but we're not doing clutch, so the single stands. Cubbage with an RBI single. Unearned run as Heisel comes across the plate. Cuts the lead to 6-2. Now Disco Dan on that single to left is going to hold at second base. No sense taking any chances there. He's already in scoring position. So runners at first and second, 2 outs for Rob Wilfong, number 9 hitter. Looking to extend the inning. 112, he walks, and that will load the bases. So Cusick in major trouble. And the Twins are right back in this game with 1 base hit. Tying run is now at the plate in Lyman Bostock. 4-7, and that's a walk. That's going to walk in a run. So now you've got Bob Lemon pulling. Well, he doesn't have any hair to pull out, really. He's got a little bit of hair, but not much. But whatever he has, he's getting pulled on. And that just forced in a run, making it 6-3 with Roy Smalley coming up. And Dave Hamilton, the lefty, in the bullpen for the Sox to face Carew next if Smalley continues the inning. 3-5, he does not. It struck him out. So big strikeout there for Cusick to not have to face Carew with the bases loaded. 2 runs do score. It makes it a 6-3 game. But at least it keeps the lead. Cusick trying to go 1 more inning to see if he can't qualify for a win. Right now the Sox in a little bit more tougher game than they bargained for. Here's George Orta. 4-8 against the lefty. 4-8. It's a base hit for Orta. So Orta, base hit. Single for Orta. He's a D-stealer. He will not go anywhere. He will not be held. Richie Zisk. 3-9 for Zisk. Struck him out. So Zisk down on strikes. Here's Lamar Johnson. 6-12 is a ground ball pitcher X. Johnson is a 5 E0. So he won't make an error, but his range is pitiful at a 5. So we'll see how that plays out on the dice. It's a 15. So a 5 and a 15 is a G2. And a G2 is a force play. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. Call it 1-4. Johnson reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down for Chet Lemon. 1-5 for Lemon. Trouble for Johnson here. 1-5 is a triple. 6-20 is a double. And we'll see if he scores on the double. We'll check it out. It's a double for Lemon. Now Johnson doesn't run very well. And I don't even believe he was being held. He was not because he's stealer. He is a 9, which means he wasn't being held, makes him a 10. There are 2 outs, that makes him a 12. The double to center, so the center fielder Bostock, his arm is a -1. So we've got an 11. 1-11 chance for Johnson. He's going to try it. He's going to try to score all the way from first on a 1-11, and he's thrown out. So we'll call it 8-6-2 on the relay from Smalley. And that's going to end the inning. They took the chance and it didn't pay off. So, Twins Johnson rather, doesn't allow anything else across the plate thanks to good defense from Bostock and Smalley. We go to the 5th, and this is Cusick's point of weakness inning. 6-3 ball game. He's facing Rod Carew, but Dave Hamilton is loosening in the bullpen as we speak, the lefty. To back him up, 4-6 against the lefty, and that's a walk to Carew. Carew with a leadoff walk. And that brings up Weiniger. Now Carew is being held. He is an A stealer. 0 arm for Essien. So an A stealer starts out as a 15. He's being held. -2 makes him a 13. So a 1-13, but they're down by 3. So they're not going to take that chance. Let Weiniger swing away. 3-7. A 1 is a single. Anything else he lines to Orta at second. And that's a liner to second for out number 1. And that brings up Heisel. Heisel the batter. 6-5, and that is a fly ball to right field. So 2 down, and 1 more out to get out of it for Cusick to qualify for the win. It's Glenn Adams, DH. 4-5, struck him out. All these walks, but 4-5 is a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. And Cusick meets his goal. He pitches 5 innings. And he only had 1 knock against his point of weakness, so they're going to try him for the 6th as well. but the bullpen will be on standby. All right, here's Spencer. Leads off for the Sox. 6-6 against the lefty. It's a fly ball to right field off of Johnson's card. 1 down. So Johnson has stabilized things for the Twins, keeping them in the game. Soderholm, 4-7, and that's a single. So Soderholm gets the base knock. He's a D stealer. He will not be held. This is Ralph Garr. I'm only holding C stealers and above. 1-9 for Garr. Ground ball second base C, so that'll advance the runner. So Soderholm gets to second now with 2 outs for Jim Essien, catcher. 3-4 for Essien. Ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. 3-5 would have been that base hit, but 3-4 is a ground out. That's going to end the inning. We go to the 6th. It is the Sox 6, Twins 3. Cusick back out, facing Disco Dan. It'll be Ford, Cubbage, and Wilfong, bottom of the order. 2-4, and he plunked him. He hit by the pitch. So Cusick plunks Disco Dan to lead off. That's going to bring up Cubbage. Hamilton again loosening. Trying to stay ready because there's some lefties coming up. 5-7. Ground ball second base X again. That's an order. He's got to avoid that 11. And he does this time. That's a 14, so that's a good play. And a 14 on a 4 is a G2, so that's a fielder's choice. So fielder's choice, 4-6. Cubbage reaches. He's an E stealer. He will not be held. And that brings up Wilfong. 2-3 for Wilfong. He's going to fly to left. That's out number 2. Top of the order for Bostock. Cusick hanging in there. 1-6 struck him out, and that's the end of the inning. So Cusick goes 6 innings, allowing the 3 runs. That's a quality start by definition. He gives him a quality start, probably more than Bob Lemon could even hope for. So he's going to probably end it right there. I think it's going to be all for Cusick. And they will go to the pen to try to finish out these last 3 innings. And they're going to have Smalley, Weiniger, and Heisel. You know what? They're going to probably go to... it's hard to say. We'll figure it out. I think Hamilton's been loose enough. He needs to come in through all that warm-up. So Hamilton will come in to pitch the 7th. So right now we've got the bottom of the 6th to deal with. Dave Johnson facing Alan Bannister. 2-2 is a fly ball to right field. Bannister is out of there. And my innings are messed up because they batted around, so I got to fix my headers. I thought I was in the 7th at first, but we're still in the 6th. All right, so that's a fly out, 1 away. Brings up George Orta. Orta, 4-8, and that's a base hit for George Orta. 1 out single, but he's a D stealer. He will not be held. And that's going to bring up Richie Zisk. 3-6 for Zisk. A walk. And now could be reaching the point of weakness here for Mr. Johnson. But now we're going to have Johnson facing Johnson. Dave Johnson facing Lamar Johnson. 1-8 struck him out. It's a big out there. There's 2 away. Here's Chet Lemon. They're going to try to get Johnson through this inning. 1 out to go to do it. 1-6 ground ball to short. But there's a plus there. So with the runner, was he being held? No, Orta was not being held. So you don't. So there was no. You don't get the base hit there because he was not being held. You would have normally if the runner had been held, then the shortstop would be responsible for holding. Actually, with the right-handed batter, the second baseman would have been responsible for holding, so still would have got it. Still would have got him out either way. Bottom line, it's a ground out to short, and the inning's over. So through 6, we'll show the line score real quick. Through 6, it is 6-3 White Sox. Cusick has done his diligence. He went 6 innings, and now Hamilton, the lefty, will be coming on. He's going to be facing Smalley, a switch hitter, Carew, a lefty, and Weiniger, a switch hitter. So Doesn't really matter with all these switch hitters who you have on, but they're going to bring in Mr. Hamilton. And on the season, Hamilton 4-5, 3.61 ERA, and 9 saves. Does have a relief rating of 2, so he can go, he's not just a lefty specialist. He can go 2 innings if need be. Smalley stepping up. Before we get going, let's go ahead and do the totals on Cusick. He faced 28 batters. He gave up how many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got him for 5 hits, 3 runs, of which all of them, or 2 of them are unearned, because both runs here in the 4th were unearned. So 3 runs, only 1 earned. He did hit a batter. And how about walks and strikeouts? He struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. And walks 1, 2, 3. Hit him for 3 walks. Alright, so final line score I have on Cusick: 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, walked 3, struck out 6, hit a batter, and is in line to get the win if the Sox hold on to the lead and don't relinquish it. So Hamilton now on to face Roy Smalley here in the top of the 7th. 1-4. Against the lefty for Smalley. 1-4 is a ground ball to short. And there's 1 away. That will bring up Rod Carew. And they've kept Carew in check pretty much. 0 for 2 with a walk. 3-12, and that's another walk for Carew. He will draw the base on balls. And that brings up Butch Weiniger, the catcher. Carew is being held. He's a hit and run C, but with the runner being held, turns him into a hit and run B. So let's see if they want to try that. Hit and run B. But I'm using advanced, so let's go to this hit and run chart. So I'm going to be using this hit and run chart, rolling the 2d6s. It's a 7, and again, he is now a B because the runner is being held. So B7 says batter misses pitch, roll 20-sided die for steal results. So now Carew has to take the steal chance. And we've already calculated that from the previous inning, I believe, to be 13, but I'll double check it. Carew as an A stealer starts out as a 15, being held as a 13. So it's a 1-13, and Essien's arm's a 0. So 1-13, the hit and run was missed. Carew's got to steal it. And he did make it, and there's a 3, so it's a chance on a throwing error for Essien. Essien's T rating for possible throwing error is a T7. So 1 through 7, we got a throwing error. No, 19, so there's no throwing error, but it is a stolen base for Carew. So he steals second, takes the double play out of the equation. Here's Weiniger, 3-7 against the lefty, and that's a walk, so he would have got to second anyway. So back-to-back walks for Hamilton. Not a good way to start here. Now he's got to face Larry Heisel, a tough lefty, as the tying run. 2-5 for Heisel. 1-7 is a single. 8-20, it's a ground ball to first, and the runners will advance. It is a 3. It's a base hit. 1 star, so the bases are now loaded. So bases are loaded with only 1 out. The DH Glenn Adams, but he's not going to face the lefty Hamilton. They're going to go to the bench for a pinch hitter. They're going to go to a right-hander, Craig Cusick. Right-hander Craig Cusick is going to pinch hit and take over as DH. Cusick on the season, 254, 12 homers, and 45 RBIs. Pretty good column here against lefties. So let's see how he does. Cusick will now take over as the DH going forward. And Laren LeGros, their closer for the White Sox, is in the bullpen. But he's going to need at least 1 batter to warm up. So here's Cusick. Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield double play depth, looking to turn 2. 3-8 against the lefty for Cusick. Struck him out. A big strikeout there. Struck him out. 2 down. And it's down to Disco Dan, who's got a loaded column against lefties as well. But it's off the Hamilton's card. 6-9, ground ball to short, and that's going to be taken up by Bannister. And Hamilton pitches around all that mess without allowing a run. How do you like that? He got out of that jam. Bases loaded, only one out, and he gets out of it. And that will do it for the Twins. Here in the 7th, they come away empty. And Hamilton endearing himself to his teammates by getting out of that jam. So now we go to the bottom of the 7th. Score. The Sox 6 and the Twins 3. And now it's time for Harry. All right, Harry's trying to get the fans riled up and the team riled up. They've been shut out for the last 4 innings by Dave Johnson. And I believe we're going to get a new pitcher for the Twins. Dave Bergmeyer, the lefty, is going to come on for the Twins. Whoops, wrong side. Bergmeyer. With the lefty Spencer coming up, they're going to go to Bergmeyer. So let's do the numbers on Johnson. They were very good. He pitches 6 innings. Check that. Is that 5 innings? 5 innings, not 6. I don't know where I got 6 from. 5 innings. Boy, that's messy. 5 innings. Let's see how many batters he faced. He faced, let's see if that's 13, is 27, 32. So he faced 19 batters. How many hits did he allow? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. More importantly, no runs. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts. I don't believe there's any walks here. No walks and 2 strikeouts. So yeoman work there for Dave Johnson. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, nothing across the board, and 2 strikeouts. So really can't ask for much more than that if you're Gene Mauch. But now they're going to their pen for the left-hander, Tom Bergmeyer. And Bergmeyer on the season, 6-4, 5.09 ERA with 7 saves. He's a lefty, and he's in there facing the left-hander, Jim Spencer, to start us off. Hamilton's day is done. Laren LeGros will be coming on to pitch in the top of the 8th and try to get a 2-inning save, which was not uncommon for him back in '77. All right, Spencer will lead things off here against Bergmeyer. Lefty on lefty, 6'9". 6'9". Ooh, that's a bad spot for Bergmeyer. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a double. Spencer off the lefty, it's a double. Leadoff double for Spencer. He's homered, now he's doubled. Both off left-handers. So there's 1 away, or 1 on rather, nobody out. Here's Soderholm. That's 5-4. 5-4 against a right-hander is a fly ball center field X. That is Bostock. And Bostock, defensively, is a 2 E4. 2 and a 5. We'll probably get to that. Let's see. 2 and a 5 is an F2. So he did get to it. That's an 8. And he is an E4. E4, I don't believe there's an 8. No, there's not. So it's good play. Turned in by Mr. Bostock. Makes a tough play. 1 away. And Spencer will retreat back to second base. Here's Ralph Garr. Another lefty on lefty. 4-11. 4-11 is a single to left field. That's to put runners at the corners. Again, Spencer has not run well, so he will hold. Runners at first and third with only 1 out for Essien. Twins looking to turn 2 against a slow-running Essien. And Garr will be held since he's a decent runner. 2-9 Lefty 2-9. 1-9 is a home run. 10-20 will be a sac fly to left. So 1-9, it's a 3-run bomb for Essien. It's a 13, so it's a sacrifice fly to left field. That will bring home Spencer as it went to the track. And the Sox pick up an insurance run and now lead it 7-3. There are now 2 outs with runner at first, Mr. Garr. Still being held. Here's Bannister, 3-10 against a left-hander. Ooh, that's not good. Look at that. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is a double. So the Sox looking to add more. And that's a double. Now the question is, will Garr score? He was being held. So let's check his running. Garr runs at a 17. He's being held, makes him a 16. But there are 2 outs, so that makes him a 18. And the center fielder's arm is a -1, makes him a 17. So a 1-17, he will score. And he does. So it's an RBI double for Bannister. And the Sox pick up 2 runs. Now take an 8-3 lead. As they kind of open it back up now against the Twins. 4-8 for order against the left-hander. 4-8. That's a solid single. Single to right field. Now the question is, will Bannister score? Bannister was not being held. He runs as a 17. He's a D stealer, so he was not being held. Runs as a 17, makes him an 18. Right fielder's arm is Disco Dan. And Disco Dan is a 0 arm. So nothing happening there with his arm. So a 1. We're saying a 1-19 then, because there's being 2 outs. It's a 1. So basically he's going to almost guaranteed to score. Throw through anyway. Yep, he's in there. So RBI single for Orta. 3 runs across the board against Bergmeyer. And that'll bring up Richie Zisk. And that may be all for Bergmeyer. I think he's going to come out. And they'll turn it over to Ron Schuler, right-hander. Ron Schuler will be on to face Richie Zisk. We'll worry about Bergmeyer's stats later. Right now I want to get through this inning. 2 outs and a runner at first. 3-6 against a right-hander is a walk. So Richie Zisk keeps the inning going. Puts runners at first and second for Lamar Johnson. 2 outs. Schuler and the Twins trying to get that last out, get out of this. 5-2. It's a fly to left. They'll do it. And the inning is over. But 3 runs come across. So the magic of Harry Carey produces 3 runs. And they take a 9-3 lead. And with that big lead, they're not going to burn Leron LeGros out of the bullpen. What they're going to do is let Hamilton keep going and bring in a lesser reliever, such as a Don Kirkwood, if they need it. So here is Cubbage, lefty on lefty against Hamilton. 4-7, and that's a walk. So maybe Hamilton won't be in all that long. Will Fong the batter. And actually he will be pinch hit for. They'll go to a right-hander off the bench for the Twins, and it's going to be right-hander, or right-handed hitting, I should say. Jerry Terrell, not that great of a hitter, but he's right-handed, so they'll use him. And he'll also stay in the game to play second base in the bottom of the 8th. So Jerry Terrell coming on. Pinch hits against Hamilton. 2-5. 2-5. He's going to fly to right. 1 away. And that's going to bring up top of the order in Bostock. 2-5. Single with 2 stars. That's going to put runners at the corners for Roy Smalley. Hamilton pushing fatigue now. He's going to stay in there with an 8-3 lead. Smalley. 2-7 against a lefty, and he's going to walk. That's going to load the bases for Rod Carew. Dangerous proposition here. The Twins can get right back in the game. And looks like maybe LeGros is going to, he's going to be facing Heisel next. So LeGros is going to come in after this at bat. So Hamilton, last batter faced, is going to be Carew. It's a 2-11. Ground ball pitcher B. The infield is at double play depth, so the run will score. It's going to be a 1-6 fielder's choice. Smalley's out at second. Bostock goes to third, and Cubbage will score. Cuts the lead to 8-4. With the right-hander Heisel coming up, they will bring on the closer, Laren LeGros. So LeGros is on to face Heisel. 2 outs, runners at the corners in an 8-4 game. 6-8 against LeGros, struck him out. It's going to end the inning. And LeGros does what he needed to do right there. Got the strikeout. A 6-8 against Hamilton would have been a ground ball to short, so he would have got it up that way as well, but you don't know that. So you have to cut the bleeding right there and not take any chances to blow this big lead. So a run for the Twins, that's all they get. It is actually a 9-4. I was thinking it was 8-4. It's 9-4. Lost track of the score there for a moment. So it would not be a safe situation for LeGros, but they don't really care. They just want to get out of this and get ready for their doubleheader. So here is Chet Lemon against Schuler. Schuler in mop-up duty, 4-9 for Schuler. And it's a 1-14 home run. 15-20 is a double, so Lemon has a chance to go deep here on a 14-20. I'm sorry, on a 14 or less, and then a 1, he does it. So home run for Chet Lemon. He's doubled twice, and now he's homered. So Lemon making the Twins feel sour right there with a home run. Makes it now a 10-4 good buddy game, CB game. Here is, but not CB Buckner. 5-8 against a lefty. Ground ball to second, handled by the new second baseman, Terrell. 1 away. So it's true what they say. When you bring a new fielder in, the ball seems to find him. Here's Eric Soderholm. 4-9, and that's the same one that Lemon homered on, was the 4-9. 1-14 chance. Another home run coming up. 15-20, it's a double. It's a 13, so it's gone. Home run for Soderholm. And the Southside Hitmen doing their job. It's now 11-4. And that is home run number 4 in the game for the Sox. After getting shut out on 2 hits, they are taking their revenge on Twins pitching. Here's Ralph Garr. 2-11 for Garr. It's a ground ball to third. By Cubbage, 2 down. And that'll bring up Essien. 2 outs and the bases clear. 2-3. 2-3 for Essien is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in. It is now 11-4. Now the question is, do they bring in somebody else for LeGros, because you don't want to burn LeGros in an unnecessary game? So they're going to do that. They're going to bring in Don Kirkwood. They want LeGros fresh for that doubleheader. So LeGros only going to face 1 batter, and he struck him out. So it was a third of an inning, 1 batter, and struck him out. It's a good deal there. And now it is Kirkwood to kind of mop things up. Don Kirkwood will be facing Butch Weiniger to lead us off here in the 9th. 4-12. Gets switch hitter batting left. 4-12 is a single. So leadoff single. Leadoff single. Actually, that was not Weiniger. I don't know why I had Weiniger up there. That didn't make any sense. He was out of order. I'm sorry. It's actually Cusick who's batting, because Heisel made the last out and Cusick is the next one in line. So somehow Weiniger got out of order. Don't know how that happened. But it's Cusick's at bat. So a 4-12 off of the right-hander is still going to be a single to right. So it's a single either way. It just happened for the wrong batter. So it's base hit. And here's Disco Dan. I think I missed a batter somewhere, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. To play it out now, I'm not sure exactly what happened. 1-6 ground ball to the pitcher B. It's a fielder's choice. 1-6. 1 away. Cuppage. I'll go back and figure it out. When I go to enter in the computer, I'll figure out what in the world happened. 2-5. 2-5. Ground ball back to the pitcher again for another fielder's choice. So 2 fielder's choices in a row. And now we're down to Jerry Terrell, the new second baseman. 110, fly to right. That's going to end the ball game. Not only the inning, but the ball game. And that's going to do it. 11-4, your final. And 2 errors on the Sox. Didn't turn out not to hurt them too badly. So I'll do the totals on this later. Don't think anybody's really interested in that right now. Just want to go ahead and get the video up because we're already into 55 minutes. Final score 11-4. Winning pitcher was Jack Cusick. The loser was Butler. And with the win, the Sox go to 42-32. Twins drop to 40-36. And now game 75 and 76 are a doubleheader. It's going to be played on July the 3rd. It's a doubleheader. And we're at game 75 and 76 coming up. So that's what's going on in the future. Then they take a road trip to Seattle and Detroit for coming home for a homestand before the All-Star break. So that's going to do it. Sox again with the win. Final score 11-4. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-o-matic 1977 White Sox. Till next time, keep playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.